Against all odds, we're here. It's 10:31. Welcome to TWC right here on Cool FM. It's yours truly, DJ Sen. Now, I know a lot of people are probably wondering, why did we start late? And why are we doing this? What do we call this? A very special broadcast. Now, first and foremost, I'm not on my usual studio, also known as the home of my usual equipment. And I'll be telling you more about that one throughout our broadcast. We'll be with you up until the next hour, which is at 11:30 in the evening. We are live on the official YouTube channels of PGON Productions and Scotch State Productions, as is, I don't think we have them now online live because there's no notifications popping up here so far. We are also live on Cool FM and on Cool TV through Zeno.fm on the World Wide Web, and of course the Zeno Radio application, and OnlineRadioBox.com and Online Radio Box application. You can download those two applications for free on Google Play and on the App Store. We are also live on all affiliated member stations of TVH Group of Networks Incorporated, which seems very nice. And to our listeners at CEN Radio 1206 AM, the future of AM radio in the world, the PH2 universe, good evening to all of you. And of course, to the offices that are currently simulcasting this program, hello to all of you. And we also have ASN Radio 95.5 FM that will start its first full day of regular transmission on the 4th of October. A lot of things are going to happen on the 4th of October, I'll tell you. And I'm going to give you now that spoiler alert because you have to mark your calendars for the 4th. Anyways, let's enough chattering here for a while and get straight to the point. What on earth is going on right now? Why am I doing this on my phone? First and foremost, just a couple of hours ago, if you will give me a minute, I'm trying to recall everything that I can. Yesterday, or I should call it last night, because everything happened within a blink of an eye. Last night, the CPU caught on fire. Yes, you heard that one right. It did caught on fire, although not necessarily the fire that you usually think. It basically just burned one of the most important parts of the CPU, which is, I believe, the hard drive. Because once I started smelling smoke here onto the equipment once again, it was not coming out from the video card this time, which was the same scenario that occurred 2 years ago, where the video card was caught on fire at that time, and now it's not coming from the video card, it is coming from the hard drive. And we kept on finding ways to at least prevent a crash, following that situation. But when it became apparent that it indeed burned, we simply don't have any other alternatives but to temporarily postpone the usage of the CPU until the time being. So basically, we are back to the 2022 scenario where the CPU got burned, and I've literally waited for months before the CPU gets back to its normal structure. So far, as of my understanding, the hard drive is, although one of the most important parts in making a CPU, it is also one of the most cheapest parts of the CPU, so that is not going to be a problem. The only problem that we'll be encountering is, where are we going to fix the CPU? Where? Obviously, you would say computer shop, but the computer shop doesn't have any professional or technician, rather, to fix the CPU. But we'll try our very best to find at least a computer shop to fix the entire thing. But we wouldn't get any good news related to that one until, let's see, until the end of the year. That is what we are currently projecting at this time. And I only realized this, okay? I only realized this. Checked the official schedule of TVH Network, and I don't believe and I don't think that with the current situation that I am in, I don't think there is the need for TVH to pull the plug onto the show for the meantime, because we are only airing the show for an hour. So that is all we can tell you. And starting tonight's broadcast, in fact, this episode, until the time being, the program will only indeed air for 1 hour, which is from 10:30 all the way till 11:30. Although the caveat that if in case we actually can push it through 10 in the evening all the way to 11:30, depending on the present circumstances. Let's just say, count the scenario where either one or some of our fellow cool DJs would be taking over my program for quite a while, for the sake of gaming entertainment. I would, of course, obviously accept that fact, and I would definitely give myself some bit of a head start. We are also looking at the possibility of actually streaming some games from my other device, which is the decade-old laptop. Yes, a decade-old laptop. It is so old, I'll tell you. Like, this has been here for more than 10 years, and it is still working. I still have the old games there so far, as of my knowledge. I still have Counter Strike in it. We might actually stream it the following day, the next day. I don't actually know if that's possible considering the present circumstances. Oh, and by the way, I'm using the new phone in making this broadcast happen. So no need to be arrogant here. I'm just telling you the facts. I'm telling you straight to the point here, because the old phone is scheduled to have its factory reset next week, and I have yet to put the remaining files of the old phone, and it will be transferred here to the new one. So a lot of things are going to happen within the next couple of weeks. But if there's one thing I can assure you, the program will now air for the time being from 10:30 all the way till 11:30, and that is all I can tell you. The other thing is that the first Friday of October is an exception. All right, that is an exception because it's a very, very important day. TWC will air as regularly scheduled from 9:30 all the way till 11:30 on the 4th of October, and that doesn't change anything, other than the fact that the 10:30 to 11:30 only applies to outside October 4, and that is all you should remember. What else do we have in here? Specifically, to be specific, I've been told by the management of SBD that the TGON hub is closing down on the 20th of September. I'm hoping that is not a fact. That is a lie. I
Let
am
me
not sure
clarify.
if
Let
that
me
is.
clarify, Sen. Let me clarify, TJ Sen. I believe TGON Hub is only closing down on free to air, as a free to air channel because SBD management, from what I remember so far, is they're moving
Yep.
it to cable exclusive channel.
I see. Oh, and also to those of you who are listening right now to the radio websites of Zeno.fm and Online Radio Box, I would like to apologize for the background noises. You'll get to hear most of these cases until the time being, until the equipment gets fixed. So it's pretty much normal here at CEN headquarters to have at least some background noises. So again, it's pretty much unavoidable until once we get this thing back, that problem will now be solved. Unless that equipment right here that got freaking burned will be fixed. Now, oh my goodness. Also, here's the other part of the story. Aside from the hard drive that got burned, everything else was not affected until we did a inspection. We did an inspection onto the wires inside and found out that one of the wires were actually burned. One of the wires were actually burned, and it is connected to the power supply. Now, the other lucky thing that I can tell you is that it did not damage the inside. It only damaged the what do we call this? The cover of the wires. So thank goodness. Either way, it's going to backfire heavily. And again, I cannot jump into conclusions until we put this thing onto the computer shop, and that is all I can tell you. Now, for our viewers on TVH Network, since this program is temporarily airing on 1 hour, I suggest there should be no need to pull the plug onto our broadcast in the middle of our broadcast, because apparently I was told that the simulcast of TWC will be from 9:30 all the way till 11 now, from its old time slot of 10:45. So it's now moved to 11 p.m. But there's no need. For the time being, there is no need to pull the plug, TVH Network. I'm telling you that one right now. We're only airing for 1 hour anyway, so what's the point? Um, let's see what else do we have in here. I wanted to also give a quick recap of what happened last week on TWC. Last week was pretty much chaotic. I have to mention that one as well. And the fact that I really didn't have much of a good talk. I really didn't have much of a good talk, and primarily speaking, I really did relied onto voice mod for no reason, absolutely no reason whatsoever. And I do know for a fact that that only lasted for a day. So I used one yeah, there we go. Now we're talking. That's why I have already apologized in advance of background noises. Again, it's pretty much unavoidable. You will get to hear my name on the background noises, and quite frankly, again, that's pretty much unavoidable. And I kept on telling you that one for quite some time, because this is going to be the norm. This is going to be the thing that you'll get to hear during the broadcast until the time being. So we kept on telling you that one on repeat for everybody to know, because there are viewers who have short-term memory. They don't remember that easily, so we'll keep on reminding them. So there's literally nothing to worry about,
Fair
other than the
enough.
fact that we should
Fair
probably
enough.
start writing all of the details, all of the disclaimers and stuff. Um, and unless this thing gets fixed. It is now exactly
Fair
10:42
enough.
in the evening right here on TWC. So far, we have a bunch of peeps right here. In fact, the host of Totay na Nalamao, Stephen, is here as well onto the audience booth. He will be taking over later on after our broadcast at 11:30. Let's see, what else do we have in here?
Kumakain
Do I
pa
have
ako.
a
Whoever
paper record?
invited me. By the way, thanks for the boost, by the way.
Oh, hey, welcome, Steven, to DWC.
Ayun, magandang gabi sa inyo. Kakarating ko lang right now galing sa church.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Nakasilip yung klase ng prof namin. Dahil may pinapagawa sa CHED ngayon, may pinapagawa yung CHED sa kanya, kaya na-cancel lang. Late na ako
I see.
nakauwi kasi dumiretso ako sa local church namin. Sakto yung schedule. But anyways, kamusta kayong lahat, DJ Sen? Let's continue with the topics here.
Yeah, let's continue.
All right.
Oh wait,
I'm pretty much sure. Yep.
before we
Go.
continue, Sam, I'm actually
Go.
in your studio of TWC. We haven't not used your Roblox studio in a very long time.
I saw the studio, but I'm completely bored to open Roblox at this point.
Oh no.
But yes,
Well,
Sam, we are back
yep.
with your Roblox studio after a long time. It's been a long time.
Yep. Oh, that's fantastic. Anyways, for those of you who are listening to Zeno.fm and OnlineRadioBox.com, you can switch now to our YouTube channels of TGON Productions and Scotch Tape Productions, so that you can get to see the entirety of our studio, which has not been unearthed for such a very long time. It hasn't been open for such a very long time, because the fact that we actually burned it for the sake of Terabis's, what do we call this? For the sake of Terabis's very own entertainment, at the very least of its extent. And as far as I know it, Lamau SMP has a lot of problems lately ever since we have migrated to 1.21. The IP has a huge problem, I must mention. And I wanted to give some information regarding Lamau SMP. Ever since the migration occurred, um, the migration occurred to 1.21.1, the other members, especially Geometric, have complained about Lamau SMPC's connectivity issues. Unfortunately, I am also going to be one of those people who will be complaining onto the connectivity issues. I mean, I have no reason to argue in this thing because obviously it's pretty much understandable on the basis of Red Techies' case. I mean, Jaya did a check onto the IP of the server, and the ping is 12,000, between 9,000 and 12,000. Imagine that. And I've also encountered the same problem by the time I returned to Lamau SMP just a couple of days ago. And it went from 5 bar to 1 bar upon entering within a few seconds after joining, which seemed relatively unfair. I mean, I did a speed test as soon as that one happened, and my Wi-Fi was actually doing well. And I have no problem with my Wi-Fi at all. I have to share the same sentiment as Geometric had, and that although he had good connectivity or good internet connection, the fact that the IP issue has yet to be resolved is something that is pretty much mind-boggling. But again, I don't necessarily blame Red Techies' end because his Wi-Fi doesn't necessarily be 100% the blame, or the cause. I think Zero Tier has something to do with this as well, and I don't exactly know. Again, I don't want to jump into conclusions here. All right, I don't want to jump into some some sort of a gossip or a rumor or an answer or a solution that will only lead to more problems. Uh, but again, they're currently working on it, so I'm hoping for the very best. And finally, to those of you who are concerned about the fate of TWC's broadcast, here's the only answer I can tell you. You will not get to hear the TWC replay advisory because the show will push through, ladies and gentlemen. TWC will continue, albeit on a 1 hour format basis until once again, for those of you who are just joining us with a time now at exactly 12 minutes before the hour of 11, TWC will air from 10:30 all the way till 11:30 every Fridays and Saturdays up until the time being. And as a result as well of what happened last night, I have to make some concessions as well. The Sunday shows, including Synthwave Sunday and Sunday Primetime Party, will temporarily be canceled up until the time being, until further notice. And I have already given the management of Cool FM some heads up that the two programs will temporarily go off the air until further notice. We
That
also
is
have
correct.
news coming out from the weather. Actually, tropical storm Ferdy has now entered the Philippine area of responsibility. But don't worry, it's going to leave within the next couple of hours. So there's literally nothing to worry about. There is this meme going on because after Enteng, which is literally connected to Enteng Cabisote, the international name of this tropical storm, which is Bebinca, um, is quote unquote misspelled as bibingka, which is the food here in the country, and I find it very funny because they do they do what do we call this? They do have a similarity. The only thing is it's lacking letters. I mean, you're gonna eat a storm. That's the question. That's basic logic. Are you gonna eat a storm just because its name is bibingka and that it doesn't have enough letters to call it as bibingka? To be fair, bibingka is delicious. So that's a that's a compliment. Anyways, I haven't drank water actually. It is now exactly 10 minutes before the hour of 11. I'm gonna give myself some time for me to drink water and to give myself a bathroom break or a restroom break. TWC will return after these messages. Stay along with us. We'll be right back.
Okay, that's weird. I'm not hearing any the intro sound on my end, but I have seen the intro transition on YouTube live stream, so that's interesting. But anyways, we are back on TWC. TG Sen, let's go.
10:56, 4 minutes before the hour of 11 in the evening. Let's continue now on TWC with the last 30 minutes of our broadcast. Quite frankly, I hate to admit that I did, in fact, put a NGL message on Totoy na Lamao. I don't actually know if that actually appeared live on the radio applications because usually I'm a workaholic, so that's an immediate red flag. Just kidding. And so far, I don't actually know if that has already been read. So quite frankly, Stephen is actually deaf, and so he doesn't know about this one. So again, that's understandable because he just arrived back home and he needs some time for him and his program to continue. Anyways, quick reminders. Quick reminders. Oh my goodness, I'm becoming more of a teacher than a host right now because apparently, again, I'm not on my equipment. What am I gonna do? um I might actually try to at least stream via cell phone camera the old games coming out from my decade old laptop. We have already discussed about this earlier, and we're only relaying this message again for those of you who are just joining us on the program. We might actually do some gunfighting. Let's go. Violence. Wow, crazy. That's gonna happen tomorrow at 10:30 in the evening, right here on Cool FM. Second, I'm actually looking at the prospect of canceling the program's just broadcast next week because I have a lot of stuff to do. But again, even though my schedule has yet to be filled, we are not raising the possibility of the program's live broadcast cancellation for next week. So again, it will all come down to my announcements. So you better watch out on my social media accounts. I might actually announce there more than here on Discord, but I'll probably give the management some head start because they should be the ones who needs to figure this one out first. They need to inform and let them be informed first. And lastly, TWC will return to its 1 hour format again for the time being. And again, I'm going to remind and inform not only the fans, but also to the management as well on when TWC will return as regularly scheduled. If there's one thing I can tell you, I am trying to avoid a TWC replay advisory playing once again onto Cool FM. We're trying not to let that one happen. As for viewers on TVH Network, if you're just joining us, it is now exactly 11. Supposedly, um, you're supposed to see the schedule, the schedule for TVH Network. I believe since today is Friday and the replay episode for Sunday is the Friday episode, so I should be the one who will be predicting the future. So it should be 11 o'clock, right? And then you peeps are supposed to see the Sunday schedule of TVH Network. Well, jokes on you, we're still on the air. I don't actually know if TVH could follow, but personally, I don't know. But we'll see if, in case there are any edits or continuities posted on TVH YouTube. I have no problem with it. Besides, I don't watch the continuities on TVH Network YouTube. I don't really mind, with the exception of obviously my program, TWC. I am I am selfish in terms of my own program. I hate to admit, but I usually give way to my fellow colleagues anyway because they also deserve to be part of the spotlight as well. Kind of like a mix between TWC and Yo Hangouts. Because here's the background here actually on why TWC is related to Yo Hangout. Um, when the CPU got damaged, if you may recall, that was June 2024. The CPU got damaged, and Geometric actually said late at night, by the time I posted the announcement, that was 1 in the morning. He literally saw the announcement for the first time and he said, Pre, wala na si Sen, pre. He is sayang all. Payag ka ba, Mami Ayu? Which who is Yo? Na ibalik ang Yo Hangout. And Mami Ayu was actually open to that decision. And, he's open to that proposal, and that he has no problem with it. And again, that was never materialized, and the replay of TWC was instead being placed as a temporary placeholder for the time being. And I don't actually know if there will be another Yo Hangout, but we're still manifesting. All right, we're still manifesting for that one to happen. I mean, we already did revive Geometric Story Time with Geometric as a segment of My Tulugan just a couple of weeks ago, and now we're at it again. We're slowly trying to revive the first era of Cool FM without any of the stains. All right, without any of the stains, without any of the controversies. We're just trying to revive the same segments, but we're trying to be nonchalant. We're trying to be somewhat of a based what do we call this? Let's just say based, because we're resurging once again in popularity, and we don't want to make any miscalculations. We don't want to make any mistakes. All right. If in case there's ever if there's a mistake, then we'll immediately apologize. That's what radio station do. That's what the owners of a station does. They would apologize if in case their business is pretty much on a very dangerous situation or a very disastrous situation, and they will not apologize to something that they really don't do. Unless if there are any proof or justification that will be used against them. That is where to the point where you are running out of options. And that is what happened to ASN back then. It was 2021 where I really didn't have much of an option but to temporarily shut down ASN, which is the predecessor to the Cringe Entertainment Network. And I didn't return. Was that 2021? I'm trying to remember it actually. Okay, it was 2022, mid 2022, where I decided that the ASN will temporarily shut down. And fast forward to January 2024, where I decided that, hey, why don't I create a brand new network? And thus, Cringe News Channel was born. And it was February. Was that February 4 or February 5? But let's just say the first episode of My Tulugan on February 2024, where I made my debut as a regular viewer of the program. And immediately, they noticed me. And actually, that was my first message, if I can remember correctly, my first message on a live show. And I said, if TGON have any job offerings. And Mami Ayu said, no, not yet on the fan-made world. But out of nowhere, Geometric actually reached me out and said, you can star on Staros's brand new show. I know it's very cringy to recall that one back, but it's a very serious deal. That was a very serious question, and I never ever thought they would treat this one as a joke question. And what would have been a very joke question, quote unquote, would go on to be a foreshadowing, because just a couple of weeks later, I made my Cool FM debut as the host of the station's EDSA People Power special. It was 7 to 9 in the evening, and that was the test. That was the test for me to at least participate in this very, very special uh, company. And since then, I took over the afternoon time slot of the station, which is from 12 noon to 6 p.m. It, my goodness, that was a little harsh, at least to some of you, but actually it wasn't, because by the time I was under online classes at school, so I have no problem with it, and the fact that the online class schedule back then was 12:30 to 5 in the afternoon. That was actually good because I'm a multitasking guy and I know to how I can handle things at the same time without the worry, you know. Um, and so far, the first test of my job here at Cool FM was the release of grades on the third quarter, which obviously was the start of my Cool FM job. And so far, my grades have retained. That precisely means I have retained as well on Cool FM on the basis of the other side, even though they really are supportive about my new initiative. And also, cool news as well. I have became a regular since March. That was during the Holy Week. Not necessarily during the Holy Week because we were off the air during the Holy Week, but days before the Holy Week, I decided to take part of this experimental feature of the station since we are regaining popularity at that time, and we wanted to capitalize the situation. We wanted to capitalize the boost. We wanted to seize the moment. We wanted to get the opportunity that our fortune has given to us onto this station. And so far, everything has been successful. And what else do we have in here? It was after Holy Week where I became a regular on My Tulugan, and I've done a lot of trolling, I've done a lot of pranks, I've done a lot of antics, and not all of them were successful. Because, I mean, literally, therapy is literally showing the, what do we call this? The command's history. What a failure. What an epic failure in terms of my own point of view. Um, and then fast forward to middle of May 2024, where they have decided that I'm gonna have a real deal show, which is TWC. And at first, I thought it was a joke because it all came at the right timing. It all came at the right time. I have to abandon my afternoon slot because the school year is over, and I have no reason whatsoever to continue the program with the exception of holidays, which obviously I can capitalize, I can seize the opportunity. In fact, I am currently planning for the return of Music Zone with DJ Sen on November 1, which is All Saints Day. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why All Saints Day? All Saints Day, I believe, is a Friday. Um, I want to clear that one up. Is All Saints Day Friday? Let me check. All Saints Day. Because if in case, okay, so it is a Friday. All Saints Day is indeed a Friday, and out of respect to the deceased people, I'm actually looking for options to see if TWC will push through on All Saints Day. And we're not there to party, all right? We are not there to party. We are there to respect the true meaning of that holiday, which is All Saints Day. We're not there to party. We're there to commemorate. We are there to revisit memories, and we are there to reflect, all right, and observe, and to continue the legacy that our loved ones have left behind. So, again, I'm thinking if whether this program will push through on November 1, or either way, we can just cancel it out of respect to the true meaning of the holiday. Again, we're still looking into that. And also, if in case that would eventually get canceled, which I will be announcing anyway, you'll just have to wait for my announcement. If in case it gets canceled, then I will be giving way to Totoy no Lamao, which is right after Cool News Prime Time. If that's gonna be an option, I let the management handle it. All right, let the management cook. I am in no position whatsoever to handle this sort of a schedule shakeup. I'm not a cool head. I am just here to serve the people and to entertain the people. And that's our mission. In fact, we only have a couple of minutes left before Tore Lalamao goes on the air. Let's see what else do we have in here. What's going on right now? I believe a lot of things are happening at the Pinoy Big Brother Gen 11, where there has been some. It went from quarrels to the internet going back and forth against our fellow housemates. Um, what's going on KOL? I am not sure what's going on right now on KOL, but um, before the start of the show, a lot of people were fighting with words back and forth on the live chat of KOL, and most of them are coming out in support of from one housemate to another, which obviously angers the rest of the fan base of the other housemates, which generally doesn't have any attention at all, which they also deserve to have some attention at least. And again, um, this is starting to look like it's gonna be a chaotic night, especially, excuse me, especially I believe eviction night is tomorrow. Eviction night is tomorrow. Again, um, enlighten me because I used to see eviction nights on a Sunday. Okay, I think it's on a Saturday. We'll probably figure that one out. I don't watch TV because the TV is broken. Like it's been broken for more than a year, and yet we don't have any replacement, which is pretty much understandable. I mean, talk about being damaged because of multiple storms. All right, let's face it. The rooftop of CEN headquarters is starting to deteriorate, and we have, unfortunately, we don't have any backup to cover the expenses um, of the damage that many storms have occurred within the last couple of months. You know, I can now call it as months because why not? It's life changing. And most of these funds of the CEN Broadcasting Corporation has been used to construct the brand new studio of CEN headquarters at the expense of the roof. They've literally built a brand new studio. So again, I have no idea what's the purpose of this new studio, but if there's one thing I can tell you, it's made out of galvanized square steel, eco-friendly wood veneers, and screws from my aunt. Not a joke. Okay, let's see what's going on right now on social media. Thank goodness I have this flexibility. Um, I heard NAIA is gonna have a reshuffle on the basis of flights. Terminal 3 Terminal 3 is exclusive for international airlines only, or international flights. And Terminal 1 is only exclusive for Philippine Airlines. That's the initial plan. Correct me if I'm wrong, all right? Because that's the information I've been getting for quite a very long time now. That the four terminals of NAIA will undergo a major reorganization. So Terminal 1 will be exclusive for Philippine Airlines. Terminal 2 will be for both Philippine Airlines and Cebu Pacific. Terminal 3 will only be the hub for international airlines and international flights. And Terminal 4, which was supposed to be converted to a like a hangar or something like a warehouse or storage facility. Terminal 4 will be now given exclusively to Air Asia. Again, correct me if I'm wrong, because I have no idea whatsoever, because that's the only information I've been getting. Again, enlighten me, so I have nothing to worry about other than okay. By the way, there's a festival ongoing at our nearby barangay, and so far they have a concert. They have a concert at this time. Wow, late at night. Imagine that. Um, I mean, this will run through, this festivity will run through up until the 20th of September, and that the road nearby will close from 7 p.m. all the way till 11 in the evening. So basically, that should supposed to be open by now. Um, but there are lots of equipments. We checked the road. It was really, really closed. It was filled with barricades. You can barely fit. As a human being, you can barely fit. All right. Um, I tried to enter on one side of the road, but it was really closed. So we literally had to take a U-turn, take the other way, and see if the other one is open. Guess what? It's open. It was really, really open, with the exception of two barricades, which is just placed on both lanes. So, but the fact that it's literally covered with way too many barricades on the other side is mind-boggling. Like, how many do you need? How many do you need, officials? Like, oh my God. I cannot believe I'm ranting onto the program. Um, but my goodness. If you can only see, if only I can take a picture, in fact. Let's just hope that thing will not happen tomorrow. And let's see, what else do we have in here? We only have 12 minutes. Uh, let's see. Let me check my Instagram for a bit. By the way, shout out to my fellow friend and colleague, my very own classmate, one of our fellow classmates at my school. I did made a lot of shout outs on TWC's broadcast last week, so it would be pretty much useless to say that, hey, you're doxing live on the airwaves. Is there, I mean, what's wrong with saying the first name? Yeah, I'm live. Sorry. Anyways, about that one, what's wrong with with saying the first name of a person? I mean, we do have obviously Stephen, one of our DJs, Stephen. So again, what's the point of literally saying the first name of a person? Just because you literally said it doesn't mean that you're literally doxing somebody. I mean, what's your concern? All right, I'm not trying to what do we call this? I'm not trying to be arrogant here, but I need an explanation. I need a reason why you guys are complaining about that one. Just because I said the name of a person, just the first name only, and you would say it's doxing. Are you joking me? Oh my goodness. You're just easily triggered by just saying that one. Anyways, 10 minutes before TWC leaves the airwaves on Friday, the 13th of September, again, we are live on the official YouTube channels of TGON Productions and Scotch Tape Productions, as is Zeno.fm and the Zeno radio application, as well as onlineradiobox.com and the online radio box application. You can download it as always for free on Google Play and on the App Store. And I wanted to quickly remind you once again, we would like to apologize for the background noises. Again, they're pretty much unavoidable up until the time being, and that you'll get to hear this thing until we get the equipment back. I love this station. I love my life. In fact, I should instead of saying I love my life, I should say what a wild time to be alive. 9 minutes before the hour of 11:30, and subsequently the start of Totoy na Lamao. For those of you who are listening to us on the official Discord server of the Yo community, um, there is the Not Gonna Lie link that will be posted during the broadcast, and that you'll get to. Don't worry, everything will be there from shout outs. Just send your shout outs or your confessions or your text. It will be read live on the airwaves as well. And let's see what else do we have in here. Let me check how many how many viewers are we currently at right now on our YouTube channels. Actually, let me check. So we have 2 viewers on Scotch Day Productions, and we have 3 viewers on TGON Productions. That's what I like it. There are people watching, there are people listening, and again, I really, really appreciate all of your support. Despite the fact that we have so many challenges here at in real life. Again, that's pretty much understandable. A lot of people are, in fact. I did advertise this program earlier on my social media accounts, and now it's already deleted because it has already passed 10:30 at that time. So I had to end the advertising of the program. So that's pretty much understandable. And this will be the setting. All right. This will be the thing that you'll get to hear, you'll get to witness, you'll get to listen up until the CPU gets back to normal, which is forecasted to be at the end of the year. We'll be doing this one every Fridays and Saturdays for 1 hour, with the exception on the 4th of October. A lot of things are going to happen, for better or for worse, and we're already anticipating that one. And again, I have nothing to worry about, with the exception of how am I going to adjust yet again. Yet again. The reason why I said yet again is because this isn't the first time the CPU got damaged, all right? In 2020, the CPU got damaged twice. In 2021, the CPU got damaged once. In 2022, the CPU got damaged 3 times, with the third time being the first one that actually got burned, which is the video card or the graphics card. And it literally took me months to wait for a replacement, and that wasn't up until the start of January 2023. And speaking of 2023, lucky for me, there are no crashes or any damages on the CPU for 2023. So we were already anticipating at that time that 2024 will prove to be the penultimate of this thing, and we were right. I was right. um, all of my um, all of my assumptions are true. This is why sometimes you should assume, because one day it might happen. Uh, and quite frankly, I hate to admit that we might be actually waiting for the CPU to come back on January 2025. Who knows what will happen? But again, we're going to try our very best to at least try to compress the time span of this damage, because this is now turning into a liability. Um, if, compared to what happened the first time this thing got burned in 2022, it was not a liability, because by the time it got burned, it was the Christmas vacation. And it literally took us just days, because the Christmas vacation on my school at the time was only how many weeks? 3 weeks. And after 3 weeks, that one got repaired. And now we're at it again. And unfortunately, it's not going to be 3 weeks. We're already anticipating that one, even though the damage part is one of the most cheapest parts of the equipment. I still have to wait for quite a very long time. So again, a lot of things are going to happen within the next couple of weeks. So I suggest you should stay tuned for what's going to happen right here on TWC. I'll give you updates anyway. For those of you listeners and viewers who are going to be pretty much concerned about my own point of view, although I appreciate your concern and your worriness, I usually bring it back with some updates as well, and some information related to this present circumstances. 4 minutes before we leave the airwaves, I wanted to give a let's see, what else do we have in here for a minute or two. Actually, we were still waiting for the Trike Studios this time. Actually, in fact, let me check. Yep, yep. There it is. You heard it, peeps. You heard it. It is happening. So we're gonna just plug it in for a second. Um, there we go. Now we're talking. Okay, we're plugging the vehicle. We are plugging the vehicle just to make sure we're gonna go to the Fiesta. Okay. Gonna see the charging. The charger right here. Okay, there it is. It's red. It's red. My goodness me. Okay, let me lock this thing for a bit. I did throw the trash out earlier this evening, so I literally have nothing to worry about. I'm not gonna pull up an all-nighter unless pretty much necessary. Okay, let's see. The only thing I would say on the last few minutes of our broadcast night, we'll do this one again tomorrow at 10:30 in the evening, all the way till 11:30. Don't worry, it's 1 hour. Again, for viewers on TVH Network, there's no need to cut the cord. There's no need to do a put all hits moment because we're only airing for 1 hour. In fact, it's actually what do we call this? Actually, it's good to know that the EVH actually extended the program from 10:45 to 11 now. So that's a pretty good head start for us. And actually, I am surprised to see Maitulugan not there on the TVH schedule. And instead, it was replaced by yours truly's program. Although I am honored to have at least put my show there on one of the most prestigious fan-made television networks. I'm at the same time I feel a little bit of a disappointment because my Tulugan is not there. My Tulugan has been a fixture to TVH Networks' programming, and ever since we swapped time slots, technically not swap time slots. It's what do we call this? It wasn't up until Geometrics' decision to move my Tulugan to the prime time slot of the news. Usually the news time slot, but again, it's pretty much understandable, and that was his decision. We must all respect that one. In fact, we did respected that one. And then there goes TWC. A lot of people are still pressuring me for the show to extend till midnight. I know, and you know that I cannot do that one because there are people here at the CEN headquarters who vehemently oppose this measure, even though the movement is still alive and kicking. My fan base is, for some reason, growing, and I don't know why. I don't know. I'm like I show speed. Just kidding. My goodness me. Okay, we only have a couple of seconds time before the next program on Cool FM. That subsequently brings to an end here on TWC. The dog showing continues tomorrow night at 10:30 all the way till 11:30 right here on Cool FM. Stand by for Totoy Lalamao with the one and only Totoy Pepin, Stephen Liwanag del Sol. Until then, good night, everybody, and stay safe.